Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri. It is Tuesday, October 7th, and we are rolling through our 31 projects in 31 days. Yesterday, actually, you got 3 because I did 3 different tags from the Nutcracker Tags Kit, so that's a little bonus. And then today, we're actually going to make 4 projects in one, so that'll be fun. I have every fall ink color on my desk. I have Old Olive, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, and when I took the picture earlier, I realized that my Cherry Cobbler ink pad was not out here. So we're going to use every single one of these colors. Yikes. And it'll be beautiful. And I don't know that I'm becoming a fall person, but I'm trying. So let's get going. Project number 7 for October 7th. If you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. And also, this is today's participation. Tell me what your favorite fall color is. Of the colors that I'm using today, or if you have a different one, let me know what's your favorite go-to color for fall, when you make fall projects. All right, let's turn this around, get going. Whoop. I hit the wrong button. There we go. All right. So we are actually going to make 4 projects. And this is a technique that I do. I like actually with fall leaves. And I also like with snowflakes. It makes it a fun, I'm trying to get my laptop. There we go. Sorry. Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining me. All right, so we are going to make 4 cards simply all together, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my panel 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to stamp everything at once. So I'm going to make that at 7.5. And then, so I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need this for my thing. And then 3 3/4 by 5, so I need this side to be 10 inches. So I'm just going to trim down my sheet of paper so that I don't have to trim it after it's stamped. And I actually got a pencil, so that'll be, well, we'll just have to wing it. Pencil's not important. Okay, now, Old Olive, Monica, oh, I'm trying really hard for it to be one of my go-to colors. I'm trying. Okay, so we are going to stamp the 4 panels all at one time. And I don't have my pencil, so I'm just going to put it at 5 inches on both sides, and I'm going to stamp the center this way, and then actually let me see if I can get this where it's 3 3/4. Okay, so now if I go along the black lines on my grid paper, then I am in the center. So I have the leaves and all of the little mushrooms and little weedy looking things from the Gathering Moment stamp set. I have every single stamp inked over here, and I don't think you can see it, but that's okay. I'm gonna stamp each thing, and then I'll put the words on at the end, and so each one will look a little bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the crushed curry. I'm going to start with the light one and then go from there. And if you've done this before, or if you've watched, this is a typical fall thing for me. I do love to do this with the leaves. So like I said, I'm going to keep my lines along the sides, just so I have an idea. It doesn't have to be totally centered, but just so I know which direction my center is. I'm gonna go along. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to randomly stamp our leaves all the directions, all along there. Now I don't have to fill in the whole thing, because we're gonna come in and we're gonna fill in all the little spots with our other colors. I'm gonna leave my ink pads open though, just so I can see where I need to fill back in. All right, let's see. Let's go with the green one. Let's go with Old Olive. if you are just joining me, two things. Tell me where you're watching from, and also what is your go-to color to use for your fall projects. Okay, those are your two assignments for participation tonight, and there might be a prize somewhere along the line. So I'm just going to stamp these leaves in Old Olive right along that line, along our axis. I might throw another one in there. All right, I don't want it to be exactly on the line. I want it to go on both sides because each panel is going to be gonna have its own space. All right, let's see. Let's go crushed curry, and we're gonna do just the leaves from that. Sheila and Pam, hello. Hello. Tell us what your favorite fall color is. Let us know what you think. Fall colors are not my thing. Like I said, I'm trying. I really am. And actually, with my hair color, probably they're good colors for me, but they're just not what I automatically gravitate towards. We can always go back in and add more later. We don't have to worry. If we don't get enough, we can, another Old Olive vote. Oh my goodness, you ladies are killing me. I got a little bit of a rock there. I'm gonna be okay with that because I think I can cover that with some of my other things and no one will notice. Whole olive, oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm gonna try really hard to get this one covered. Let's go this way. There we go. I don't think anybody's gonna notice it. So we're gonna do various places. And keep in mind, this is gonna be two separate card fronts, so it doesn't necessarily matter if they're right next to each other. Hey Deidre, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you could make it tonight. All right. Have you all shopped the kit sale? The kits are on sale, the card kits, through tomorrow. There are some that are sold out, which was kind of a bummer because they were some good ones. All right, I'm gonna stop with the red. All right. Oh, wear it a lot. I don't think I own anything that's Old Olive. Maybe I should change that. I think all of my in-person customers would have a heart attack if I did that. I think if I came in wearing an Old Olive shirt, they wouldn't know what to do. All right, I'm gonna stamp the acorn from the stamp set in Pecan Pie. I don't want it to be super dark. Just gonna fill in some gaps. It might look a little crazy for now, but it's okay. I think part of the problem with clothing, I had a professor in college who wore Old Olive. Somebody told her that fall was her season, and she wore the most hideous burnt orange and Old Olive, and so I always associate those colors with her, I think, and that's not an ideal situation. Okay, so it's growing on me, but I've been out of college for 30 years, so you know, takes a while. All right, so now last one, the mushroom. I'm gonna put the mushrooms, I'm gonna just do a couple of those, not too many, and I've got crumb cake for that. It's just a fall collage of things. All right, when you get it, when you think that, when you think you've got it where you might be ready, and I'm gonna leave it at this for now, and I can always add some more when I realize when I cut it that there's not enough yellow or whatever. So we're gonna put it back on our paper trimmer. We already cut it so that it was equal. When I cut it into 4 equal parts, they'll be 3 3/4 by 5. So now I'm actually gonna cut those panels. I'm actually going to cut it at 3 3/4 lengthwise. And then I'm gonna turn it and cut it at 5. So now we have 2 panels there. And then let's do another one. We'll have 2 panels here. All right, and I can see where I want to add a couple of things because I don't want it to be so square and boxy. I want it to be a little bit, a little more natural than just the square. This one's a little better. It kind of angles a little more. So I'm going to leave that one. This one needs another one, and this one is not so bad. I want to change them so that they're not all going the same direction. Also, I want to make some horizontal and some vertical, but let's go ahead. You know what? I think this one could use a really nice crushed curry leaf right in the middle. Let's see. Maybe this one too? No. Yeah. Let's do that. The yellow is going to be the lightest, I think, of the choices that I have here. So it won't be quite so in your, oh, well, if I'm adding, I might as well add one up here too, right? And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. It's all leaves fall, right? They're not, all right. Enough of the crushed curry. Put him all the way over there. Let's see. And this is literally going to be some trial and error. If we don't like it, it's okay. It's okay. But if we start on the line, then we can build. Okay, so it won't be. Whoop, my paper is all out of whack. All right. And sometimes I have to turn it a couple of different directions to know what I want to do. Okay. I want this one to be, all my acorns are going that way, so it's going to be like that. And I probably should have made that one bigger. We'll just go old olive. Okay, now let's real quick add a couple of crushed, Cajun Craze, sorry. This one. All right, do you see any blank spots where I need to make them? I think we're about good. I think we're almost where I'm gonna be happy with it. And you can just keep adding. Doesn't matter how many you use, how many you don't. Some of them, hi Maureen, thank you for joining us. Ooh, Virginia. I think you're my first Virginia watcher today. Well, that I recognize, that I notice. All right, so we have our 4 panels. And I might come back and add another layer, another color. We'll see how this works out. But for now, we've got our 4 panels. And I have the words from the stamp set. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp all my words in early espresso. I'm going to do this one this way because all of those acorns are facing that direction. This one, I think I'll go this way. And maybe this one will go that way. And then this guy will put like that, okay? A couple of them I'm going to stamp directly onto the panel. And then I also have, what do I have here? Oh, I have a couple of die cuts. I just cut a couple of things. I have a textured notes die. I have a couple of stylish shaped circles. I have a couple of nested essentials. I'm not sure the nested essentials actually fit anything, so we might not use those. But I'm gonna do a couple popped up on dimensionals, and then a couple will just stamp straight onto our card. Let's go. I gotta think about this now that I have my words out here. Which ones are? Hi Dawn, thanks for joining us tonight. All right, this one. I think so many choices. I don't know. Okay, this guy's gonna go on this. We're gonna make, I don't know. This is what happens when I just, actually, I have 4 cards made. They're already made, but I'm trying to do this so that it's very different than the first ones. All right, so I've got that. And then let's do a gather on the circle. That might be the only 2 I can put popped up just because that's the pieces that I cut. I want my options. Okay. And then gather's a Thanksgiving word, right? And then I've got 2, let's see, expressing heartfelt gratitude. Let's make a thank you note. Of course, this whole thing is about thank you. I'm gonna put my gratitude one on this one. And then I'll be done with that one, almost. Okay, so there's that one. Now, what do you think? Do I need to put another couple of leaves down here just for good measure? What do you think? Let me know. And then this one, let's go this one. I need help. I need all the help I can get. This one I'm gonna go gather. And I'm gonna pop that up. And then this one, let's see if this one will work here. I think it will. But I'm gonna put a little space. See, I gotta talk myself through it because sometimes I might change my mind. Like then I'll talk myself out and say, well, there's a gap there, so let's add a mushroom, maybe here. And you can add whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes your space look good. It's entirely up to you. All right, there we go. More leaves. Okay, that's what I thought too. All right, so there's that one. Oh, that's better, although it still needs a little something. See, you gotta just keep adding your layers until you're happy. Keep all your ink pads straight, because you know, that's a struggle. You can probably see my ink over here, part of it. All right, so that one's gonna go there. So more leaves here, Monica, that's what you said. Let's just add a couple. We won't make it too crazy. We'll just add a little bit of extra color down there. How about a old olive and a crushed curry. There. Now we have a little color there. And then this guy. Notice I'm not gluing those down yet, and I'm going to show you the next step in just a second. Let's see. That way. No, this is going to be a vertical. Goodness. Many thanks. How about many thanks? Oh, wait, we've got 4 different cards. All right. Now, I just realized that one of my leaves stamped off onto the top of that. So guess what? We're just going to cover that right up. Nobody's even going to know. Okay. All right. We don't want it to look like a jungle. Okay. Now, next step is to decide what card bases we want. I have cut, I don't know, I used all 6 of the colors. I have all the colors here that I cut in just a card basis. And then I also have 6 mats that I'm going to, do I have 6? Yes, I do. I have 6 mats. So I just want to mix and match. There's no right, there's no wrong. We're just going to mix them. And so, you know what, I'll start with this old olive card base. Let's just get that out of the way right now. And then we can add whatever color we want. How about Cajun Craze? Is that good? I think we can use that one. And let's go with this guy. And then we're gonna add some gems too. I have a couple of different gem options and ribbon options. I have the Early Espresso and Old Olive Baker's Twine. This one's probably not gonna get Baker's Twine because I didn't put it on there. So this one's gonna be simple. Let's go ahead and pop that piece up on dimensionals just because I think that makes it look a little bit more fancy. I know, Lisa, I started with Old Olive. Like, let's just get it out there. Everybody will be impressed. But I'm just telling you that in the next few days, we're gonna make snowflakes because it's finally getting cooler. We're gonna make snowflakes and they are gonna be bright and fun and not Old Olive. They're gonna be, maybe, oh, I don't know if they'll be bright, but they won't be. All right, so there's the first one. We'll see if we're happy with that one in just a minute. Now let's go with this one. This one, oh man. Let's go with a crushed curry and cherry cobbler. How's that? I think that's good. I'm not overthinking this. I am just doing it. Hi, Robin. I'm just doing it because I get bogged down and I think, where do I want these gems? Where do I want these leaves? No, just do it. And I'm speaking from personal experience because raise your hand if you are an overthinker, because I think we all are at some point, and I'm getting over it. I'm getting over it. All right, now I'm gonna put this base flat. I'm gonna put that one flat, or this panel flat on my base. Sorry, I said that wrong. Because I'm gonna pop up those words. And here's where you're gonna be helping me. And actually, no, I'm gonna make my own decision. I have some of the, what's this called? Yes, the irregular weave trim. And it's actually really nice. It's pretty stiff and you can tie a nice bow with it, but I'm going to just wrap it behind. I actually have a random piece that was stuck to something else. I'm gonna do it just like a fake bow, and I'm gonna put that behind. Just add a little bit of extra texture, a little bit of interest. And it's neutral, so it's a nice fall type decoration. All right. Hold off on the rest of the gems. We'll get there. All right, and I'm going to put that up on dimensionals as well. I don't know. Sometimes I think flat cards are a little plain, but sometimes they look really good. Note cards and envelopes. Actually, plain is, or flat. I shouldn't say plain because they're not plain. Flat is often a little better because they go into the envelopes a little better, but we're not worried about that tonight. All right, so let's do gather right there. So there's two. I'm gonna come back with the bling, so don't worry. Your friendship means the world to me. All right, what color? Let's go brown and let's see, brown, and let's do Cajun Craze. That's what's in my hand. Like, I'm literally like dealing out whatever color. Okay, so then we're gonna put our panels together. But when you stamp all 4 panels at the same time, it makes it so easy to just put them together. You could also not put your word on. Wait to put your words on in case you need a fall birthday, but I'm gonna go ahead, and since I'm using this stamp set, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This one not gonna use that ribbon. I'm going to add, well, let me get this piece on. Sometimes decisions on the fly are the best. Now, the one thing that I'm not gonna do tonight while you're watching me, but I will do it later, is that the inside of these is a little bit dark because these are darker colors. I will come back and add a vanilla panel because that way it's easier for you to see what you write. And I probably will stamp a little mushroom or a little leaf on the corner. And also, oh, the one thing I didn't say, I did use vanilla instead of white. So I think that fall, I don't know, the fall colors, I think that the vanilla is a little bit softer. It's not quite such a harsh difference. So I did use vanilla. So that's why I chose vanilla instead of white. White would be beautiful also. I just think that the vanilla looks nice. All right, so I'm gonna put this on there and I'm going to use all right, I'm gonna let you vote. I'm afraid of what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you choose whether you think I should do the early espresso twine or the old olive twine. So here's the card. Early espresso or old olive. Take your pick. I actually have a choice. I'm not gonna say what it is, and we'll see if Monica chooses correctly, because she's usually my voter. Oh, Sheila, I'm glad you like them. It's so easy. And like I said, leaves in the fall and snowflakes in the winter. That's two of the things that I always like to do like this because it makes it so easy. But I think you could do flowers. I think you could do, what else could you do? Butterflies. Oh, I'm so glad. Actually, I'm going to tell you, I was going to choose old olive also. So yes, everybody. Okay. Should I put it behind or should I put a bow right on the top? I mean, while you're choosing, let's choose. Okay, it's gonna be a little thicker than that, but should I put it on? I think I will put it on the top left, and that might balance out all the things that are down here on the bottom. All right. Oh, I could probably do, but, oh man. I think old olive is winning here, but can I use both? Can we tie a bow that's double? Let's see. We may not like this, but let's try it. Because, you know, here we are. Can I do them both? I don't think so. I don't think the two colors is good. I think I'm gonna go with old olive. I know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go old olive, and I'm gonna tie a bow on the corner. Just like that. I wrap it around my fingers because that's how I can do it. If you're new to watching my videos, you will know, if you watch for more than 32 seconds, that I am a terrible bow maker. I am. I do them the best I can. I've gotten a little better, but it's not my forte, see? All right, so I call this the Lori bow method. My friend Mary has tried to get me to do the fork and bow. I can't do that one. I can't tie the bunny ears. I just don't have time to practice. So we do the wrap it around my fingers and then take another small piece and trim it off. Okay, now let's put this on dimensionals. That leaf that I had all over the other thing obviously was not just on the front. Okay, we'll put this on. Our crazy neighbor behind us built a pickleball court. Pickleball in his backyard. And he is out there right now, and I can hear the ka-tunk, 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 ka-tunk of the ball as he hits it. He actually got a pitching machine, and I think he plays pickleball by himself. I don't really know, but I can hear him. So I hope that if you hear the ka-tunk, 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 you won't think it's anybody crazy at my house. All right, I'm gonna put that there. Hang tight, Susan, the bling is coming. The bling is coming. We got one more card front. We've got this one. All right, let's see. What color haven't I used? I haven't used pecan pie, and I haven't used... How about crushed curry? Let's do crushed curry with... Oh, no. Let's do crumb cake. I don't know. What do you think? What color card base? brown bow on the gather card. Do I need more bow on the gather card? Because I already have this ribbon. I'm gonna add bling, so we're gonna add a little bit more to that, but I don't know if it needs another kind of ribbon on it. I'm not sure. All right. Brown on brown is way too boring. How about crushed curry with pecan pie? Does that work? I think that works. Yes? Okay. Thanks for agreeing. No. No bow or no to the crushed curry and pecan pie? Help me out here, Sheila. All right. Is this good? Or do we need, there's the pecan pie and crushed curry. Or I don't know. The cherry cobbler might be good with this one because it's pretty prevalent on that one. Crumb cake. Okay, hang on. Where'd I put the crumb cake? How about crumb cake with cherry cobbler? How's that? Is that good? No brown bow. Okay, that's what I thought you meant, but I just wanted to be sure because sometimes things are delayed. And so I'm like, no, what did I say that I ask a yes, no question for? So sometimes I get, oh, pay attention. Pay attention. Yes. Okay, Susan, yes to the brown bow. Yes to the cherry cobbler and crumb cake. Yes to hold on to the bling. All right, I'm gonna put my adhesive on the back of this panel while cherry cobbler. Okay, cherry cobbler and crumb cake it is. No more thinking. All right, that's what we're gonna do. So all of my mats, like all of these, are 4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, I cut these at 3 3/4 by 5. So I did a 7-inch or 7.5 inch wide by 10 long on my paper. I cut that first, and then I cut this into 4 quadrants after I stamped it. So we already had our 4 panels stamped. All right, now I'm gonna come back in with the bling. Oh, you're like 1 second too late. You think crushed curry? No, it's already attached. It's already attached, but I will show you my other, actually one of my cards on the other side is actually crushed curry and cherry cobbler. So I'll show you that in 1 second. Let's put our bling on. I have 2 different packages of bling. I have to find them. All right, one goes with the Gathering Together Suite, the Cajun Craze, and gold. It has a little bit of gold sparkle. Let me show you. Up close, if you haven't seen these, they're really pretty. Small, medium, large. They just got some gold flecks in them. And then we have the streaked dots, which matches and coordinates with the Autumn Toile suite. And they're kind of shades of brown. So we can use either one. I think I might mix and match a little bit. This one, actually, we can hold one over it and see what we think. I think the brown is okay here. Like I said, I'm not overthinking things anymore. Just gonna do it. All right, so there's one. Then we'll come back. This one, I think this one has a little more Cajun Craze. So let's go Cajun Craze. I'll go put some smaller ones. Okay, card number 3. This one, so we've got the bow that balances this, but I'm gonna put, maybe I'll just do one. Let's see. Brown or Cajun Craze? The gold flake one for this card or the other one? This one? Gold flake. All right, gold flake. know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then card number 4, this one we can put a couple more. And I'm gonna go with the brown ones on this one too, just so we have a mixture of all the kinds. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have put 2 there. So I told you I wasn't gonna overthink things, but now I'm rethinking that decision. Oh, the big one. That's what I needed. I put a big one. All right. We're going to call it a success. We're going to call it done. Maybe not a success, but done. All right. So we have our 4 cards, and you can probably picture where they went together. Like there's that one. And then that's the middle there. And that's the middle there. So that was our original stamp down the middle and stamp across. Sorry, my paper's all out of whack. You probably think you're like on your head. All right, so like I said, we've just mixed and matched. We've got Old Olive and crushed curry. No, Cajun Craze. We've got crushed curry with cherry cobbler. We have a couple of pop-ups on different cutouts. We've got Your Friendship Mean the World to Me on Cajun Craze and Early Espresso. And then we've got crumb cake and cherry cobbler. So everything's a little different. And then let me show you real quick my 4 samples. And I used all the Cajun Craze gold dots on these. I did Your Friendship Means the World to Me, Expressing Heartfelt Gratitude, Gather with the, look at this, I used Old Olive linen thread on all my cards. And then, so all of my colors, actually, I don't think I did any that were the same because that one's the opposite. I don't have a, look at that. I did them all different, not even on purpose. All right, so there are, in literally 30 minutes, I made 4 cards that were all, they're similar. They're all, you know, a little bit different, but I just dealt it out and this one gets this one, this gets, and if you hadn't overthought it, if I hadn't overthought it, it would have been 25 minutes, right? So I hope that you liked these. We're going to call this project number 7, even though it's really 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is project 7. You're just going to get some bonuses because I think a fun technique like that is something that that you would enjoy. So, like I said, if you tonight's participation is tell me where you're from and where you are, or what your favorite fall go-to color is, and there might be a drawing tomorrow. And yes, Sheila, if you do that, please write in the, put a picture of your cards in the comments so that I can see what you actually made, to see what you came up with that was similar, or what you decided to, what different you decided to do. So thank you all for joining me. Be sure your favorite fall color and where you're from, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. So I hope to see you all then. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you tomorrow.